The Rams are taking on the Redskins in Washington on Sunday. Right now, I'm joined with SBR analyst Joe Gavassi to break down his picks on the game. And Joe, I saved this game for last of all the games we're covering today because I love this pick. We're doing weekly on games where you pick against, well, you pick against everyone, which is why we're calling it the Lone Ranger pick of the week. And for those of you out there who are about to click off because you just don't trust that this is going to be a great pick, look, Joe went 13-2 ATS last week with his NFL picks, so don't underestimate this veteran. So let's talk about the Rams-Redskins, Joe, because St. Louis rocked last week with an overtime victory over the Super Bowl runner-up Seahawks, which of course you predicted last week. Why should we look at the Redskins to cover in this game?
Well, as you mentioned, the St. Louis Rams were our Lone Ranger pick of the last week as we all scored with St. Louis in that overtime win. A game where the Seahawks gained the momentum down the stretch, but St. Louis grabbed it back in OT, kicked the field goal for the winner. Now we've got a week 2 road favorite coming off a week 1 home dog victory, and that just does not fly, my friends, in the NFL. Let down on board for the St. Louis Rams this week and against the Washington Redskins team, which showed much better than their loss last week to the Miami Dolphins. The Washington Redskins ran the ball down the throat of the Miami Dolphins, but were one of the only 8 teams who rushed for 30 or more yards and allowed the opponent to rush for 22 or less times, and did not get the cover last week. That's a very rare occurrence in the NFL. It almost always leads to about 90% coverage rate. That puts the Washington Redskins in a direct play-on mode for this week, as teams who do that and fail to cover are odds-on bet the following week. The situation and the fundamentals clearly in the Washington Redskins' favor this week, and yet few will be on them, remembering the preseason debacle with RG3. We're going to line up. It'll be just you, me, and the Lone Ranger again on the Washington Redskins this week to win straight up over the St. Louis Rams.
And we're going to win again, Joe. So thanks again for joining us and for the great insight. Now tell us about what's going on over at Winning Sports Advice.
It was a great weekend for us in the NFL last weekend, producing a 13-2 ATS record and selecting all games. And that's carried over to the colleges as well. If you go to winningsportsadvice.com, simply click on free picks, you will have the benefit of my 36-13 against the spread accuracy for the season to date so far. They are free. They're up there for you at winningsportsadvice.com. Appreciate your support. Good luck to all out there this weekend.
Thanks again, Joe.